So hope you people have completed the task. Did you people do that? Yes. Were you able to complete the task? No? Actually, hope you people are able to hear me, right? Just want to confirm first. Are you people able to hear me? Okay, good. Thank you. So I can understand that you people didn't do the task. No one is responding. Okay, good. Hope you people will try this weekend, right? Yeah. So we saw DOM parser, and you know how to use this DOM parser to parse the XML document now, right? Now here we'll talk about the other parser today. What is it? SAX parser. SAX. It's very important. Okay. But here, before we talk about SAX parser, let's understand. We'll try to understand the disadvantages of DOM parser. What are the limitations or disadvantages of DOM parser? Yes. What do you people think? What are the disadvantages of the DOM parser? Okay. Node type is not Java general type objects. No, they are Java objects. That is what I said. They're all Java objects itself. Any other limitation? Slow. Yes, I do agree. DOM parser, it is considered as little slow and it has got some limitations. But why? What's the reason? What's the reason? Memory consumption is more. Why? You know what? Yes, actually there is limitation for the DOM parser because you will find that the DOM parser First of all, after parsing the XML document, it creates a DOM tree. It creates a DOM tree, which is basically a complex data structure. In the DOM tree, you got a lot of objects and all, right? And each object contains data. So all these things the DOM parser has to do that. So you will find that here, that's the reason why the memory consumption for the DOM parser will be more, because it always creates each XML element, attribute, everything, comments, what are all the things you got in the XML, they are represented as objects, right? And not only that, again, they're all associated, they're linked up. The tree, complex tree is created for these objects again. So here you have a lot of objects in the memory now. That is one thing. And the other thing is, you'll find that the processing time, the time taken to construct such DOM tree, the time taken to construct such DOM tree is also more, obviously. Okay, because first of all it has to parse the document, the DOM parser has to parse the document, and after it is done parsing the document, it has to create objects and it has to link up them, it has to construct a DOM tree, which is all which contains objects here, right? Yes, different types of objects. So obviously here you will find that it takes time, DOM parser, as well as consumes memory here. Okay, it will take time as well as the memory consumption is more. So that is what the problem is with DOM parser. That's the reason why, you know what, the SAX parsers were introduced. That's the reason why here SAX parsers were introduced. So how the SAX parser works basically? You know, here the SAX parsers, they're actually event driven. They are very fast compared to DOM parsers, because unlike DOM parsers, SAX parser won't create any complex data structure. You see, it won't create this kind of tree and all. Okay, yes, it is event based. Okay, event driven, I can say. So you'll find that SAX parser will whenever it comes across an XML element, okay, each time it encounters or it comes across an XML element, it will consider it as an event. Okay, yes, it will consider it as an XML. It considers it as an event. Yes, it considers it as an event. And actually, not only element, XML element. You see, you got different types of elements, right? And you will find that each element, XML element, has got a start tag and end tags. Each XML element will have a start tag, end tag. So whenever the parser comes across a start tag or end tag, immediately, it considers it as an event, and it will call an event handler for that. There will be handlers. And through that handlers, we can parse this XML documents. Through that handlers, we can easily parse this XML documents, you can see. So, here you will find that even the text nodes, for not only for XML elements, but even whenever the parser comes across the text nodes, it will actually considers it as an event, and accordingly it will call the handler. It will invoke the handler. Yes. So, you know what? You will find that we have to create this handler, okay, which listens for the events. And who will invoke this handler? I can say that the SAX parser will do that. The handler is invoked by the SAX parser. Okay, you'll find that that handler will be invoked by the SAX parser. Here, now, let's see how to work with this SAX parser here. Yes. Let's see how to work with this SAX parser. So, here, again, JAX API provides you the support here for that. Okay, yes. I'll define a class. Let's say test SAX parser. So here, how to create the parser object. So we saw how to actually create uh, an object for the DOM parser, right? So when we talk about DOM parser, yes, we have created which object represents DOM parser actually. which object represents DOM parser. Document builder, right? So let's see how to deal with this sax parser now. Okay. Now first of all, what you have to do is here we have to create an object. Sax parser factory object. So this is again this object, this sax parser factory object. It's a factory object. We'll use it to create the sax parser object. See this thing, sax parser object. That's it. So this is how you will obtain the sax parser object reference. Once you got the sax parser object reference, now you can use the sax parser to parse the XML document. Here, as I said, the sax parser it is event driven. And as I said, whenever it comes across an element, XML element, whatever element it is, what it does, it will call the event handler. Okay, you will have a handler to invoke that handler. Yes. So that handler, we have to create it, as I said, and we have to use that handler to parse the XML document, to read the XML document, to parse the XML document. We have to use that handler. Okay, yes. Here, first of all, let's create that handler. We'll call it as document handler, your wish. You can give any name in defining that class, handler class, in which we'll be writing the code to parse the XML document with the help of a sax parser. So we have to, this class, in order to make it a handler, you have to make this class extends default handler. Default handler. Where are these classes defined? All these classes: sax parser, default handler, parser factory. In which they belong to which API? Java, JAXP, very good. Okay, you see this package, org.xml.sax, they all belong to that, you see Java x.xml parsers, all JAXP. Okay, now, I said the sax parser will call the default handler whenever it comes across an element, right? When we talk about an element, that element can be a start tag or end tag. You see, you got a bookstore start tag. Again, have bookstore end tag also. We got book element with an attribute category in it. And similarly, we got an end tag for this book element, right? We got an end tag, start tags. And you got text content. You know, whenever comes across, sorry, just a second, please. Sorry. Whenever the parser comes across a start tag, okay, here it calls a method from the handler class. There will be a method in the handler class. It is going to call that methods. Which method is that? Start element. It will call this method. Okay. It will call this method. Yes. You know, I can say that this is a callback method. What do I mean by callback method? You'll find that we'll define this method, but we will never call it. Who will call it? Parser will call it. Okay. You know, the parser will pass all the details about that element to this method. Let's say the parser has encountered bookstore element. So it will pass all the details about that bookstore element to this method by calling this method. Which method? Start element method. The start element method is only invoked when the parser comes across a start element. Whenever the parser comes across a start element, start tag will be there, no? Yes. For every XML element, you'll have a start tag and end tags, right? So whenever the parser comes across a start tag, it will call this method. Okay. And similarly, whenever the parser comes across an end tag, it will call this method end element. Okay. Yes. Here, now, not just calling these methods, it will pass the details about that element also. So now we can use these details to process the XML document. Okay. Yes. So I will just do this. I'll print the name of those elements. Okay. Put the start tag. Then I will do this. And if it is an end tag, you can do this. You know that queue name, it represents the tag name. The queue name here, it represents the tag name. Yes. Here, you'll find that even the attribute details are passed. Okay. Even the attribute details are passed here. Okay. Now we'll do one thing. Here we got this default handler. We have to register this default handler. We have to register this default handler. This handler with the parser here. Okay. You have to register the handler with the parser. Yes. So how to do that? Let's see. It's very simple and straightforward. Here we got a method to register the parser, the handler. Sorry. So sax parser dot parse. You have to pass the file name. What is the file name? bookstore.xml. Then second parameter should be that handler object reference. Document handler object reference. That's it. In this method, pass method, it throws a checked exception actually. You have to handle it. That's it. So now we'll try to run this code. Okay, let's see what happens. So the parse method, when it is invoked, you see, when you call this parse method, by calling the parse method, we are asking the sax parser to parse the XML document. Which XML document? We are passing that file name, XML document name here, right? We are passing bookstore.xml. And here we are asking the parser to use that document handler as the handler, event handler. Okay, whenever the parser comes across the elements, okay, accordingly it will call this document handler methods. That's it. I'm executing this code. Yeah, you see, we got just I'm printing the names that I'm not doing anything here. We'll read the data as well. Okay, don't worry. We might be wondering we're not reading the data. We'll do that. Okay, yes. Now first we read the names, right? Yeah. Now what I'll do is we'll add a method, characters. What is this method? Yes, you know what? Whenever the parser comes across the data, if the parser comes across the data, then what it does is it will call the handler. Okay, it will call the this handler's method character. Okay, so it won't just call this method. It will also pass the data to this method. It will be stored into this character array. So it is stored into this character array here. Okay, yes. Now we'll do one thing. We'll read the data which is stored in that character array. This time we'll only read the data. Okay, I won't consider the names, or I'll just consider these names. Just a second. Yes, the data is stored in that character array. I can just print that character array directly. Okay. Whatever the data is which is in the character array will be printed. Okay, that's it. So the characters method, when it is invoked, whenever the parser comes across the text content, here you see we got the text content, every data, then it will call it. Fine. You see? Oh, sorry, just a second. I commented this code, right? It is printing the whole XML document title, bookstore. Oh, sorry, just a second. Not this way. Please do one thing here. We try to create a string object and use start in length. Tell you why. Okay. Let's see that. Data. Now run this code. Yes. You see, you got bookstore first, and actually in the bookstore there is no data, right? So nothing is printed here in this case. So here you'll find that whichever element contains the data is accordingly displayed over there, right? Yes. Fine. Here you'll find that the parser will be processing the data and accordingly show you the data here. Yes. But the thing is, now you have to think whether this parser is really better than DOM parser or not. In what ways it is better than DOM parser? Can you people tell me? We will further explore this parser, but before that, I want you people to tell me in what ways this parser is better than DOM parser here. Yes. Yes. What do you people think? In what ways it is better than the DOM parser? Yes. Yes. What do you people think? Come on, I want answer from you people. In what ways the SAX parser is better than the DOM parser? SAX parser, in what ways it is better than DOM parser? What do you people think? Why we are calling it as better than DOM parser? The SAX parser, in what ways it is better than DOM parser? Reading XML only when coming across tags, like DOM where entire DOM is parsed and saved in memory. Yes, you see, here do we have a overhead of creating node objects for each XML element? Do we have an overhead of creating the objects here? Node objects? No, right? There is no such overhead here. So that is the advantage here. So we don't have an overhead of creating the objects here. Okay. So straight away the methods are called, and to that method you see the data is passed. The element details are passed. It was pretty simple and straightforward, right? Yes. Unlike the DOM that it creates an object and all such things, right? Here that is not needed. Yes. Okay, good. Now here, why we were passing, you see we got a character array, right? So you will find that in the character array, it contains the data. The character array, it contains the data, here you'll find that actually it will pass the index from where we have to read the data, because there can be some other data also in this array, character array. That's the reason why it provides the start index, from which index you have to read the data, from what index you have to read the data from this character array. And you see here how many characters from that array should be read. Till what index, how many characters, the length also is specified here. The length is also specified here. So that is how you have to use it. What we are doing with this information, we're using this information to create a string object, and then whatever the data which is in that string object is displayed here as it is. That's it. Okay. Yes. Here you will find that this is the other way of creating the string object using this parameterized constructor, which takes 3 values. Yes. Yeah. So now, what if you want the attribute details? If the element has got attribute details, you see, you have to use this attribute object. You have to use this attribute object for that purpose. Use attribute object. Yes. So now we have to write the logic to read the data from this method using this methods. Okay, using this methods you have to read the data, and accordingly you have to parse this XML documents. Yes. So will you people try this, all of you? This is a very good, interesting exercise for you people. So I want you people to try this. Will you people do that? It's a good exercise for you people, right? So how many of you people will try this? Say yes or no. Say you have to read the data. Now you know how to read the data, right? So we saw just now. We are able to get this data. What you're supposed to do is, okay. What you have to do is, you see, we are able to read the data. See, for each element, we are able to read the data. I'm printing the element name and element data. What I'm asking you people to do is, I want you people to actually read this data and construct Java objects again appropriately. See, that means you have to represent the data appropriately in Java. Yes. And you people know how to do that, right? Yes. So here, hope you people will do that. Okay, the same transformation stuff, the task which I gave you people. This time using SAX parser also, I want you people to do that. That is the task which I'm giving you people. Okay, yes, sure, try that, very good. Because it's all about just creating objects. You have to write a little bit of logic. That's it. There's no hidden code here. Apart from this, you have to use this code itself, nothing else more than this. Yes, additionally, you will write some logic to create the objects here. That's it. Okay, fine. So now this SAX parser, now you understood that actually it is better and faster than DOM parser, because DOM parser actually, constructs a DOM tree always. It's a complex data structure. It takes some time to construct the DOM tree, and again there is a wastage of memory over there. But here there is nothing like that. Quickly, whenever the parser comes across an element, SAX parser will call the method, pass the details. We can use that method to read that XML data. That's it. Simple and quick. Fine. You know what? These two parsers which we saw now, we have to explicitly write the code to transform that data which we got from the XML document into Java objects. We have to write that code. Okay, there is no alternate for that. We have to write this code, okay, to transform the data appropriately. But you know what? Here, if you are using another API called as JAXP, we got another API. Now we saw JAXP. First we saw P. P for Pune. Now JAXP. You know this full form for JAXP is Java API for XML binding. Java API for XML binding. Here, in JAXP, this is also used, this API is also used to, parse the XML documents. But it is much advanced compared to the JAXP. Here, you will find that you don't need to struggle much to transform the XML documents into Java objects. You'll find that there is inbuilt support in JAXP itself. What you have to do here, just let's say you got an XML document, you have to pass that XML document to this JAXP component. There is a component here which will take care of transforming the XML document into Java objects straight away. Okay, yes. That component name is unmarshaller. Unmarshaller. The component name is unmarshaller. You know what it does? It converts XML document, XML doc to Java object. I can say that, in other words, this is transformation. Transformation. Transforming XML data to Java objects here. So it is taken care here. Here, you will find that there is another component called as marshaller. there is another component called as marshaller. You know what the marshaller does? Marshaller, it is just quite opposite to unmarshaller. Unmarshaller will take an XML document and will convert it into Java objects, right? Straight away you'll get Java objects. That means it will internally read the XML document, okay? It will read all the data from that XML document. It will create appropriate Java objects here and will return the objects straight away. So that is what the unmarshaller does, right? The marshaller here, it will the input for the marshaller is Java objects. It will take Java objects, converts, I can say that, converts or transforms Java objects to XML documents, docs. That's it. Or XML data, in other words. Okay? Where to call it as XML. Yeah. That's it. We don't need to write any code for this transformations. Okay? We don't need to write the code for the transformations here. That is the advantage of using this JAXP API. See, it provides these two components called as marshaller and unmarshaller. You know, this is somewhat related, similar to your, the concept is somewhat similar to your ORM, object relational mapping. See, if you people are familiar with Hibernate, you will find that Hibernate, what it does, it will take a record, it will transform that record into Java objects, and it will also take an XML. Sorry, it will take a Java object, and it also has the capability to transform it into a row or a record, database record or a row, right? Yes. You see, you will find that here similarly the JAXP also will take XML document, will transform it into Java objects, and if you got Java objects, it will convert it into XML data here. It will convert it into XML data. Yes. That is how it works. Okay. Hope you people got it, but I'm just talking about the theory part. That's it. Conceptually, I'm explaining it, but in the next class, we'll see how to work with them. Okay. Yes, and also I'll show you the validation stuff. Okay, how to validate an XML document using or check the well-formedness of an XML document using the schemas. Okay, but it is fine. So we'll meet tomorrow again and we'll continue our discussion. Okay, yeah. So thank you all. Bye bye.